Hey guys, how often do you blunder your pieces in one move? Once, twice, or many times during the game? If your answer is more than 2 times per game, you should definitely work on it and make it your first priority. This is FM Viktor Neustroev, and in this video I'm going to demonstrate the exercise that can help you to stop blundering pieces in one move. This is what I also recommend you doing with young kids. I'm sure you'll find this exercise not only helpful but exciting, which is quite important when we try to teach kids to play chess. Okay, this is FM Viktor Neustroev and how to stop blundering pieces in one move. Here I'm going to show the exercise that can help you to stop blundering pieces in one move. This is a very suitable exercise, especially for kids, and this is how they may learn how to stop blundering. So I'm going to show what we should do exactly. This is just a box. Our task is to put into this box several pieces. For example, let's take a few, like bishop, knight, rook, and for example, same pieces with same black pieces. Also, let's do it with the kings, white and black king, and maybe a few pawns, 3 white and 3 black. This is all we need for now. What should we do then? Then we shake the board, shake the box and drop them here. Okay, where the pieces should stay. So the bishop should be there, knight here, the pawn on a5. What's then? This bishop on f3, rook drop to e6, this pawn to f5. So the king is here, white king is on d4, the rook is on e2. You just put the pieces to the squares where they dropped. So like that. And then your task is to answer the question, which piece attacks what? Starting with white pieces. So white king. White king is threatening this pawn, so the pawns goes down. This pawn as well, but this pawn also attacks the king. Yeah, looks like the king can only attack these 3. But actually, you see the king can't capture anything because this one is protected by the knight, this one is protected by the rook, and this one is protected by the enemy king. Actually, this position is illegal, but nobody cares. So first, the rook. What does the rook attack? The rook attacks this pawn, it checks the king and the bishop. And actually everything can be captured. So rook can be played to e5 because it's supported with the king. Rook can capture on e7 as well because the pawn supports it. Then the knight. What the knight can do? The knight can only capture on f4, but actually this knight is not hanging because it's protected by the e pawn. So that's why the knight can't capture anything. But your task is not only to realize if you can take anything with this knight for free, but also what you can trade. Okay, the bishop. The bishop can only capture the rook, which is protected by the pawn and the knight. So you may take the rook, but in such a case you are likely to lose your bishop. Okay, this pawn can capture on e7, this pawn can't capture anything, and this pawn is not doing anything at all. Now black pieces. The black king is here under a check. It can't capture any white pieces, including this rook, because it's protected by the pawn. So this rook cannot capture anything. The knight can capture this knight, but not for free because it's protected by the bishop. So the knight can capture on e6, which is probably the best idea, but in such a case pawn captures knight. However, it's fine because the rook is more valuable. Then the bishop. The bishop is not attacking much, it can capture on f6, but in such a case the bishop will be lost. And now speaking about the pawns, these pawns are not attacking anything. This pawn checks the king, so that's why I was saying that the position is illegal, because both kings are under checks. So the main task is to realize which piece attack the enemy pieces, and then check if you can capture it for free, or your opponent can capture something some of your pieces for free. For example, in this position, the e5 pawn can be captured for free, the bishop here can be captured with the pawn as well, and maybe bishop e2 is the move that deserves attention. No, of course, in case if the kings are not under checks. As for black, the only thing black can do is to capture on e6. This rook was protected, but the knight is less valuable than this rook. Okay, now when you are okay with several pieces, no, actually, if you want, you can do it just with a few pieces or with a few pawns, then you can make this task a little bit more complicated and use the queens. Queens, kings, let's say knights, and rooks. That should be enough. Again, we shake these pieces and then drop. So the knight is here, rook is here, here. Okay, again, this position is illegal. So to make it legal, let's just move the king here. It was quite close to the c6 square. So what do we have? As for white pieces, the king is not doing much. It cannot attack anything. It's not threatening to take any black pieces. The problem is that the king is under a check. So the queen checks the king. However, this queen can be really taken. Just this rook captures on c4, potentially can capture on c4. The knight can capture on e5, which looks fine. Right. Now for black pieces, the king is under a check. It can't really do much. It can only escape, or rook can capture on e4 probably. So the queen is attacking the f7 knight only. If black king wasn't under a check, then it could be a good move maybe. This rook can capture the queen, which is the most likely move to be played in this position, and the knight is not doing anything. So the task is just to shake pieces, then drop it into the board, and after that you just realize what each piece can capture, and can it capture for free, or it just attacks but the other enemy piece supports their piece that you want to take. In this video, you learned a new exercise that trains you to notice which pieces are under the attack, which of them can be captured for free, but which are protected by the other pieces. This is what you should do during every game before you make a move, especially if you're a beginner. Thank you for watching, and make sure to like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and share it with your friends, chess players. If you know any other exercises that can help or already helped you to avoid blundering, please share them into the comment section below this video. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I prepared another one for you, the one that will help to decrease the number of blunders and improve your ability to calculate the lines properly and be able to visualize the position even after 7 to 10 moves. I highly recommend watching my most popular videos on the screen next about chess visualization. Okay, enjoy this ultimate guide to how to improve your chess visualization, and I'll see you there in a moment.